Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining me today. I have a particular subject that comes up a lot with people, and especially during the holiday season, this can be a really tough one. It could be something that's very triggering, and that's the fear of being alone. Yes, I can't even tell you how many countless times I've done readings for people. I've done healings for people, like language transmissions, and this type of subject comes up, and let's address this. Let's address this because you're not a victim to this, despite what you may be thinking or feeling right now, depending on where you are. You are not a victim to this. So the fear of being alone. Well, first off, during the holiday season in particular, there is this perfect picture sometimes that's put out there. We see it on Hallmark, right? For those of you who watch Hallmark or ran into Hallmark, of this, what holidays should be like, right? Falling in love, having a family that is singing carols together and having hot cocoa together, and everything seems to be pretty amazing there, and it's a Christmas of miracles to remember for the rest of our lives. And this is beautiful in the sense that it's very inspiring, and it really helps us to open our hearts up to possibility, miracle consciousness. So I love it for that, absolutely. On the other side of it, it also gives a signal to people that don't have that somehow that their holiday's not good enough, they're not good enough, everything's horrible, and there's this Scrooge, bah humbug kind of attitude towards it. And I hear you, I've been there before, so I get it. This is why we're talking about this. Society does have its hand in a lot of the fear of being alone. Just on a normal basis, even things like social media, people tend to compare their lives to other people, and they say it, lots of people go through a lot of mental issues when they are using social media. It is true, and especially like Instagram. I'm not on Instagram. It's one of the reasons why, at least at this time, I'm not guided to use it. It's a rough kind of platform there because people easily see pictures of people's lives and stories, and they think to themselves, wow, I don't have that. Lack, right? So that lack consciousness comes in, that not enough comes in, that low self-worth, those insecurities creep up, and we do that comparison of, I don't have that, this person does. And it's really damaging. It's really damaging, to be honest with you. And this is definitely one of the issues here with people who are struggling with, I'm afraid to be alone. Those comparisons come in. The not enough comes up. But the thing is that there are traumas that are underneath that create, I am afraid of being alone. And those traumas often get pressed down, repressed, thrown into the closet as skeletons. And what a person will normally do is they will search outside of themselves for someone to make that pain go away, to give them the happiness and that satisfaction and the security that they really want. They'll look for a situation, or they'll try to really just overdo, overwork, overbuy, anything to avoid what's actually happening within. So that fear of being alone really does need to be addressed within first. It cannot be solved on the outside. So we have to realize that. And on my journey, through the work that I've done, I have really come to the conclusion here that the fear of being alone is based on rejection, abandonment wounds. Absolutely. So the times in your life, going back in your past, where you've had a rough time, choices were made that maybe you're not proud of, things that you deem mistakes, past relationships that have failed, the different connections that we've had that didn't work out, that caused a lot of pain, that caused us to really think to ourselves, oh, it's always going to be that way. Relationship is always going to go that way for me. Whether friendship, whether romantic, it's always going to be that way. The same thing always happens to me, and then it's never going to change. And so this is my outlook on this subject. This is my outlook on my life. This is my perception. This is my perception on relationship, love, relationship. That's my perception. And that's the thing. The perception is very negative, and it's very illusionary too. And it's really blocking out a lot of the good that can come into your life. The times that we've had where we were rejected, where we were abandoned, where we really felt that we were not lovable, that made us feel like we were not enough. Now that can happen in childhood wounds with family members. That can happen, of course, carries over into relationship, into romantic relationship. Not enough. Not enough. And that must be because this is wrong with me. That is wrong with me. That is wrong with me. I can't give this. I'm not capable of giving that. I'm not capable of doing this. I'm not capable of doing that. And what happens is we create all of these outlandish, illusionary stories. We really do. The ego loves to create these outlandish stories. The fear of being alone is the fear of connecting to yourself. I'll have to say that again. The fear of being alone is the fear of connecting to yourself. It really, truly is. And people can completely resist it and try to look for a partner and try to go back to an ex, try to overwork, try to just buy things on the internet. Anything that we can do to completely just ignore it, right? And just completely just ignore what's really happening. But that will never go away because you see, your outside reality is always going to reflect your inside reality at all times. And I know I've learned that really harshly on my journey, and I'm sure you have too if you've been on a spiritual awakening journey, twin flame ascension journey, and you've been delving into your inner work. The fear of being alone is definitely connected to how you relate to yourself. And when we go through rejection experiences, we go through abandonment, neglect experiences, when we go through those hard experiences, and we have that hurt and that pain still there, and we develop these stories, we develop these illusionary perceptions, you see, that's where the issue lies. It really does. So healing our inner world it's so very important. And to know that your life is not to be compared to anyone else's. You are on a very unique journey. You are. You're a unique person. You're a unique soul expression. Your journey has a divine timing to it. So even if someone else is enjoying this particular type of relationship or family experience or career experience or whatever the case may be, it's comparing apples and oranges. It's best not to compare. It's best to stay with yourself and stay very present with what's going on and tuning in. And I'm telling you that, especially now, during the time of the holidays, it's really a great time to reflect, to go within, to rest, and to really take account as to where you are with how you connect with yourself and how you perceive yourself and you perceive life. Are you blocking yourself? Are you in these stories where you're not giving things a chance to be possible? Are you deeming things impossible? Relationships, they don't work for me. I'm not capable of doing this. I'm not capable of doing that. I'm not enough to be able to launch my own business. I'm not secure enough to be able to speak out there and speak my truth or share anything because I'm not enough. I'll be judged. All of this is so very important when we're addressing the fear of being alone, because the fear of being alone always, always, always comes down to the fear of looking within and connecting with those wounds, with those traumas that are preventing you from unifying with yourself. Please know that. Mercury Retrograde, which if you're watching this video now, and the Mercury Retrograde and the Solstice, that type of energy, it's really going to be very, very supportive to help you to go back into a lot of those levels and layers where you have been in separation with yourself, where there's been the rejection wounds, where there's been the abandonment wounds, where you've been judging yourself, where you've been wearing false masks, where you've been resisting, where you thought yourself unlovable, undeserving of love, not capable in some sort of way, not supported, not safe in the world. It's going to give you a chance to get real with yourself if you choose. If you choose to be. Right? We all have free will. But we are supported to keep going and progressing and transform and go through transition. And that's beautiful because we're becoming more and more of our true selves. We're becoming more and more unified within. Unified with ourselves, loving ourselves, accepting ourselves just as we are, flaws and all. And unified with source energy. And that unity also extends out to being unified with all living things. The victim consciousness that is there is something to be really looked at, and to also discover that you're only a victim if you think that you are. You're not truly a victim. You're not truly stuck. You're not truly trapped unless your ego thinks that you are. Those stories, those beliefs, society's programming of what society says that you should be doing or you should have, and you should be at a certain age doing this and having that. Holidays should look like this, holidays should look like that, summer vacations should look like this, they should look like that. And when we're comparing apples and oranges, it just causes a lot of misery, and we're more and more discontented and resentful and angry that we think that we are lacking and then other people have something better. It's that lack consciousness. It's that victim consciousness. It's those rejection, abandonment wounds. You are not alone. You're never alone. Energetically speaking, you are never alone. It's to know that you are always supported. In some sessions, what comes up is that people think that they've been abandoned by God. That God doesn't hear me, God doesn't care. I've been going through all of these struggles for so long, and God turned their back on me. I say they because however you see God. You can see God, Goddess, Divine, Source, Universe, however you look at them. And there are people who really do believe that, who believe that they're abandoned, who believe that nobody supports them, including above. And those are those stories, because there's actual pain, there's actual hurt, there's the pain body underneath that. I know that you can transform this out there. If this sounds familiar to you, if you've gotten caught up in this and you realize that, yes, I know that, but I still fall into the triggers of that. Hey, this is not a journey where you're supposed to be perfect. You're not supposed to be perfect in that way, right? You're not supposed to be perfect in any way. We have imperfections. And that's okay. Our imperfections make us beautiful. Our imperfections make us unique. Right? And that's hard for some people. But it's going to all come down to loving yourself and connecting with yourself and healing that separation wound within. It's all within. Because for the people who are looking to fix and control, and they have the unhealthy need versus the healthy need for companionship, the healthy need for healthy experiences in life, when they are in this unhealthy need, that's when it's always about filling a void, because there are actual stories and beliefs and programming and emotions there that have been ignored and repressed and resisted. And so many of these types of things are going to be coming up to the surface for the solstice. The solstice is all about bringing in power, bringing in courage, confidence, security, right? Aligning with the I am. But anything that is not your true power, anything that's blocking you from your power, it's certainly going to come up. And Mercury Retrograde is certainly going to give you the opportunity to look at those things, perhaps deeper layers of those things. So stay with yourself, be gentle with yourself, and I hope this video has served you, hopefully opened you up a little bit more. And I'm so happy to be able to do these videos, and I'm really happy to be able to connect with people in session work that I do. I do readings that are an hour long that speak to your angels, your guides, speak to the different types of team members, stellar races, and ascended masters. And what we do is we receive direct communication in these sessions. Direct communication, word for word communication in these sessions to help you to understand where you have been disempowered, where you're not understanding who you are, what your true purpose is, where you're struggling with your twin flame connection, your beloved connection, where you are blocking yourself. And that's why I love being able to do that type of communication. I'm a regular psychic medium as well, so I'm able to connect with loved ones on the side, including animals. I've done that. I've done pets as well. And I love that. And they're always with you, so you're definitely not alone. And they're supporting you with all of your healing processes. They're encouraging you with all of your breakthroughs. They really are. But I love doing those readings, and I'm also here for light language activations, and I'm going to be talking more about that before the year's over. The new service that I'm offering now, especially for those who are twin flames, this one's going to be fantastic for you, and I'm definitely going to be doing a video talking about that service. But I'm here to help you do the work. I'm also here for the paranormal end of it as well, hence the paranormal priestess. For those of you who have psychic attacks, for those of you who are connected to dark rituals, for those of you who have attachments, I am here to help you set you free from these things. I'm here as a specialist that does extractions for the paranormal. I love being able to do that too, because I hate when people are interfered with on their journeys. I really believe in you guys, and I hate when there are lower interferences that are just trying to block you from becoming your best version and helping the earth. So I am committed to doing that and all the rest of my services. So you can go to theparanormalpriestess.com to learn more about them, more about me, and stay tuned for that video that I'm going to do that's going to talk about the new service that I offer. And you guys are going to love this one if those of you who are struggling with the inner work. So stay tuned. And remember, From the heart of the darkness is born the light, and you are the light. I will see you all soon. Take good care and be good to yourselves.